Okay. Excellent. Yeah. Okay, so okay, I will briefly review, just very shortly, briefly. Let's see now first we have the title of the text, and then we have the translator's homage, and then we have preface, Lingxi, and then we have entering the wisdom, where Buddha. Oops. Let me say it again. Yeah. So I will review briefly. So first we have title, Bhagavati Prachina Paramita Hridaya, and then we have translator's homage. I pay homage to Bhagavati Prachina Paramita, and then we have preface, and then fourth we have entering the wisdom, where Buddha simply meditating on emptiness, and then now we have the definition of emptiness. Definition, or you could say characteristics of the emptiness. So, so now we are here. So last time we talked about form is emptiness. Emptiness is also form. Form is not other than emptiness is not other than form. Form is not other than emptiness. So this, from there to few lines, 1, 2, 3 lines, and it ends here. Consciousness or emptiness. Let me read it. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is also form. Emptiness is no other than form. Form is no other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, perception, formation, and consciousness are emptiness. So this 3 lines actually talks about how to train in a path of accumulation and path of preparation. So within the 5 paths, first 2 paths, how to train in first 2 paths. So so these 3 lines, 3 and a little bit of quarter line, is about how to train in path of accumulation and path of preparation. So we were here. So maybe before going into detail, so when we are studying Heart Sutra, and especially now Heart Sutra is all about emptiness. So emptiness is really, of course I will be talking more on it later, but just give you a little tiny a bit of the importance. So when maybe I'll explain, I will tell my own experience. When I was meditating on Kirim, the generation stage. So when I was, no, thank you. And then within the generation stage, the most important part is the taking 3 kayas as path. That's the most important. If you are doing sadhana, you have to focus on that one. Really focus. Maybe I should tell this, maybe it will be quite handy. It will be quite handy in the future. What I did was, this is modern, 21st century Dharma practitioner. So we have lots of kind of extra facility to really accommodate our practice. So what I did was, when I started, because it's like Guru Samaja, 2 hours. So what you can do, like Vajrayogini and Yametaka and so on, what you can do, you can actually just slowly recite the sadhana and record it. And then next day when you're meditating, instead of reading, put that earphone. And then without reciting, just follow and meditate. That's just number one. So, and also what you can do is, let's say you are doing Vajrayogini. So record whole sadhana, just slowly, don't rush yourself, just slowly, and then record it and then put it in your iPhone. Then when you go for a walk, like 1 hour, half an hour, put that. And then do. At some point, it'll come to your, heart. Quite a bit, actually, it's like 2 hours, Guru Samaja, takes 2 hours, right? So when you do, I just broke that into 3 parts, Guru Samaja, whole sadhana. So that when I go for a walk, I listen one part, the next day, second part, next day, third part. And then sometimes if you walk like a long walk, then maybe you can finish all of them. So like that. And you do keep doing that, keep focusing on that. So then, now next day, instead of reading, put that earphone and then follow, meditate. They call sharkum in Tibetan, sharkum. Just following the words and then contemplating it. And then there will be some important points like Dharmakaya. Then you stop and then meditate there. Then after some times, maybe several months, several years later, then you don't need that. Now you don't have to rely on anything. Now you can do it without relying on your sadhana and then meditate. It doesn't have to be word by word, but you have all the important points. So then, without just take the essence and then meditate. And then that's a very good way of really practicing. Your reading is kind of, you're so sometimes, irritating, right? Sometimes, you have to finish and it doesn't work. For me, I just don't read. I tried that for many years like that. And then now I don't need to rely on that one. Just meditate. And then if you're relying on the audio, then stop at some point, If you need it to stop, you can stop and then meditate and then keep playing like that. It's really a wonderful way to practice sadhana. Instead of and then go on, right? So and I think that's a really good way to practice. I did it myself, and it was tremendously helpful, really helpful. And then while you're driving, your best chance to really listen every day. Really good. That's one way. So then the point I was making was, so when I was meditating seriously on taking Dharmakaya as path, then I needed to actually go back to Madhyamika text, restudy. I had to read it again. So then, only then, you can meditate. The most important in Tantra is emptiness. Without the understanding of emptiness, you will get nowhere. Even if you have some kind of experience of tumo, you have nothing. You will get nowhere. Tumo is all about, the and like igniting the heat. And what it does, it melts the energy, and then you have tremendous this power, joy, right, bliss. And then when you have this joy, tremendous joy, all these coarse, these thoughts all subside. It becomes so like a quiet. There's nothing. It's all the. Usually our mind is like crazy, like when you have this bliss, great bliss, that all the other minds they all subside. They subside. They actually almost like disappear. So now what you have is this blissful mind, and then when you nothing else. So powerful. So that when you have that, then you remember the meaning of emptiness. Then you meditate on emptiness. Only that's the main purpose of Tantra. Otherwise, you can like try. I used to tell maybe it could be a little insulting, but I say, who cares if you can dry clothing by tomorrow? We don't need to do that. We can just use dryer. So, without understanding of emptiness, you got nothing. So when you have the empty understanding of emptiness, then you meditate on emptiness. So then powerful energy. So powerful, then you can actually eradicate the ignorance and all the other afflicted emotions. You can destroy that. So without emptiness, we cannot do anything. Even you get to this generation completion stage. I have done it. So I had to actually go back and seriously again restudy it. So I'm still studying. So this one. Same. So when you study, really pay attention right now, it will be so handy in the future. And also, then when we have to, of course, we have to make money, we have to pay for all these bills, and we have to pay all these bills and so on. But at the back of your mind, you have to think that we should not also waste this precious life. The time really goes so fast. All of a sudden, we will end up like 50, 60, 40, 50, 60, 70. Gone, time's gone. So sad. So we have to die one day. So just work hard for your whatever you're doing. Make money. Of course, we have to make money. But the back of your mind, always think, I have to die one day. So when I die, I shouldn't have any regret. So then, if you go to your work, you make money and do everything you want to do, but at the same time, practice Dharma. And then practice little by little. So see, I did Guru Samaja. I started, now I've just finished one round. So when did I start? November 7th, 2016. So 1 year and 7 months over. So I finished one round. So every day one session, right? So that takes a long time. And it was not just really just focus on mantra recitation, no. Focus on the meditation. Really focus on meditation instead of mantra. And then sometimes we think, we need to go somewhere to do some kind of retreat. No, I don't think so. Your home, clean it. As I said, Aruna's last time, you should clean your house, clean up nicely. Like her house, look how clean it is. Maybe a little too clean.
Invite me over and
yeah, clean up your room and then make your home right? Make your home or whatever, like my small little, it's like a little small temple, really nice, peaceful. And then do one session a day, right? Start with there. And then one day you will have some experience, I can guarantee you. It's like especially when you practice all this Dharma, like Sutrayana, and then good understanding, if you have good understanding, and then you practice Vajrayana, it's extremely powerful, extremely powerful. So I finished this Guru Samaja, it has 32 deities. It really takes a long time. So in reality, I finished over 500,000 mantra altogether. The Nyingpo is called Nyingpo, the essence mantra, the Guru Samaja's mantra, main mantra, 167,000. But all the retinues also some mantras. So anyway, so like that, just start at your home, make your home as a really retreat place, like Lharampa's small little cave. And then you will not feel like you need to go somewhere, but you will be grounded. Stay there, meditate. Oh, no, wonderful. Even if you die there, peacefully, really, without fear. You will go straight to the Pure Land. Seriously. If you don't do, always working, of course we have to work. Then when you die, then when you say, Tangola Barejo, and then we so fearful, we will be like scratching out of fear. So, but work hard, but at the same time to practice. Really nice practice. So, so that's the little advice for you. So now, we will start the actual text here. Oh, tashi dile yafe. Yeah. Huh? Okay. So, see this one here. This part, right? This part has the most important information of the Heart Sutra. I'll go and you got it right. First, this Sojolo Lobchu, like forming emptiness, and up until consciousness. What is that? I can't even see. I'm getting old. Becoming old now. Emptiness. Yeah. Consciousness are emptiness. They're here. Three lines. It's a training in first two paths: path of accumulation and path of preparation. So also, maybe I should, last time I didn't actually explain to you this one here. Did you see this? Just before the end of the fourth kind of what do you call, outline? The seeing the five skandhas to be empty of nature. Right here. Right? From here to here. So this one I didn't explain last time. So I will explain it to you. It's very, very interesting. We call it Rangshin Yutongba. Rangshin Yutongba. Let me look at that. So empty of nature. Empty of nature. So nature in Sanskrit, svabhava, right? Svabhava. Maybe svabhava. So in Tibetan we actually don't pronounce correctly, so we say sobhava, but svabhava, that's called rangshi in Tibetan, rangshi, or the nature. So what does nature, empty of nature, when we say empty of nature, how do you define nature? So now here, it's not easy. It sounds very easy, but it is not easy. So it has four different meanings. So svabhava, which is translated as nature in English, has four meanings. Number one has also several in the number one too. So one means ngo means entity. Svabhava means entity. Also definition. Definition.
Is that number two?
No. It is within the number one.
Definition. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and then of course nature, same. Entity, definition, and nature. These are all same within the number one. So number one. And so again, it has also even more, but I think we will leave it there, and maybe it will come later. So number second is nature means. I have to look at my translation here. Okay, she means Tibetan. She is a basic disposition. And machupa means non-fabricated. So this is very important to understand. Non-fabricated. I think you can just forget about the first one, but this one is really important. Non-fabricated. Nature is non-fabricated. And basic disposition and non-fabricated. And shenla teva meva means, let me see how, not conditioned by anyone else. I think Jeffrey Hawkins, translated something like that. Not conditioned by anyone else, meaning not relying on anybody else. Shenla teva meva. So when we say rangshing, nature, right? Nature means we say that even in the colloquial language. We say, it's naturally born, meaning it's not deliberately planted, right? The flowers are naturally born, so it's not depending on anything else. That's kind of, even we have in general kind of a colloquial language, we say this, it's naturally born, we don't have to make any effort to grow, right? So that's the real meaning. If you have that understanding, then it will be very handy to understand when we say nature, empty of nature. Okay, that's one. Second, now this is actually the most important one, because this was mentioned in Madhyamika Mulakarika, Nagarjuna's Madhyamika Mulakarika. Where is that? Rangshin Thani Chumi Dang Shenla Teva Meva is. So Rangshin Thani is the nature. Nature is non-fabricated and is not relied on anything else. That's what now I can't even say this. Can you help me? Madhyamika Mulakarika by Nagarjuna said, Ranshi Thani Chumi Tangs. Nature means is non-fabricated and it's not relied on anybody, anything else. So that's the nature. So we have to have that understanding. That's the most important not definition, but you could say definition of nature. Okay, maybe I can give you an example, like a fire. The heat of the fire is nature, even in general sense. Heat of the fire is nature. Heat of the water, when we heat up, when we boil water, that heat of the water is not nature, even in general sense, right? Because it's dependent on something else. And we have to kind of make it hot. A fire is naturally hot. When we say fire is hot, it's natural. We don't have to make it fire to hot, right? So the fire, the heat of the fire is nature. The heat of the water is not nature. It relies on something else, some other condition, right? That's why it's not nature. This even in the general sense, we say this. Yeah, okay, that's it. And then third one, let's see. Third one, so third one is when we say nature. Nature means it's not mere projection of mind. It is it arises from itself. It arises from itself without depending on the thoughts. That's called nature. Nature. So this nature doesn't exist. This nature doesn't exist. So that's why we say empty of nature also goes this one. When we say, so see nature, the heat of the fire is nature, but it does exist. So when we say the empty of nature, that nature is this third one. Something that arises from it by itself, without depending on mind or the thoughts. So that doesn't exist. So when the Heart Sutta says empty of nature, is talking about that nature arises from itself without depending on mind. So see, third one is the most important one. But the second one also gives quite a bit of understanding. And also, number one, according to number one, there are other things too. Nature means, according to number one meaning, means just existence. Mubo in Tibetan, mubo, existence. We say nature. Anything that exists, we call it nature, or mubo, or rangshi. So like that. So number three. And then number four, it's this is how to say, related to Vajrayana text, Vajrayana teaching. How do you say? That's a little difficult one. Meaning, Chunje is an ahu, Chunje is an king. Chunje is an pena. Like when we see a sign of like how to say disabled person is in a wheelchair, right? That's the indicator, right? Indicator. So yeah, indicator means indicator, or maybe there should be some better word for that one. Chunche in Tibetan. Chunche. That big it makes you understand. How kochewa. Then big the remote phone, wheelchair remote phone. Alle something take the. Engineer
you know, when you recognize something right away by visually, you see something like it's symbol.
Symbol,
You understand the concept right away. I would say concept madra.
symbolizes. Yeah, it symbolizes. You know,
Yeah.
it symbolizes.
But it's not a it's not a symbol though, right? It's
Symbolizes.
symbolizes.
Symbolizer, maybe symbolize. Sorry.
Icon?
Icon. No, it makes you understand something.
Yeah.
So when you look at the wheelchair symbol, that
It's an automatic. When you see that, you understand the meaning right away when you see a wheelchair symbol, right? Or if you see
this
the
is for-
ladies' bathroom or men's bathroom, you see
Yeah.
that visual
I see a person
identity.
in the cape.
Or you see a person in the cape. But you know, like
yeah. So this symbolizer kind of.
so
Oops.
so.
No, that's okay. 나 천지에서 천지에서 그게 고제 고르세요. Oh, thank you. It makes you understand. So it's like a symbolizer. Maybe I don't know how the exact word.
There is a term for it.
The unique descriptor? Or distinguisher?
No. It's like it's not symbol, but a symbol. What symbol does? What does symbol do? It makes you. It implies you, or not implies.
There's a word called it's more for language, but a meme. Like a meme is a cultural understanding.
Yeah.
No, it's not ever
Kisha,
천지.
example 그게 무슨?
다 고르세요. 고제. 왜냐면 단단히 되게 남사 고아지 되기도 와. Make you understand, right?
Oh, so it kind of gives you an idea or a concept. So it makes you like as soon as you see that visual identity or that, it just helps you understand the concept.
trigger.
It kind of triggers something, right?
Really,
But it's a quick, easy. I don't want to say quick or easy, but it's a way for you to grasp understanding.
it gives you understanding anyway.
Symbol. So symbol is something that relates to a referent by convention, such as word or like words or traffic signs.
You see, traffic sign gives you some kind of thought,
Yeah,
right?
so
I
it's
don't think it's
symbol.
that-
Traffic
yeah.
sign is
Yeah, symbol, no action of the symbol. What is the action of symbol?
That's it.
like a
To communicate.
Yes. there you go.
Indicator. Yeah, indicator. Maybe it's quite
It
good.
is a communication.
Indicator.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah, indicator. I think that's good. I think indicator good. I think it's good. Indicator.
That's what you said originally.
Yeah. Indicator. See the number 4, 칭의, or the definition. What does definition do? It indicates the meaning of that thing. So indicator. I think indicator is good enough. I think we can leave it there. So the number 4 is indicator. Huh?
So maybe sign, because I've seen in English translation sometimes signless. Speaking about it, signless. So maybe
Signless,
sign,
I see.
Indicator sign.
Sign.
Like sign, like this.
Yeah, sign. Right. Sign. The function of sign is to. What is the function of sign? Yeah, signal is good. Yeah, signal is good. Yeah, but indicator, signal.
Rather than a noun?
Yeah, these are helpful. See, signal
so
and indicate.
sign, the word sign, it has different types of signs. So an icon is a type of sign, an index is a type of sign, a symbol is a type of sign.
Mm-hmm.
Sign is like an umbrella term for
Right.
different categories. An index, like the thing like icon, index, symbol,
Right.
or different types of sign.
Right. But anyway, I think indicator or the symbolize or symbol. I think those we can stick with those two. So now this is fourth one is the indicator. So Raishin means indicator. So there are 80 thoughts in Raishin Gyaju. Raishin Gyaju in Vajrayana. The generation stage they call Raishin Gyaju Kundo. Raishin Gyaju Kundo. There are 80 thoughts. So those 80 thoughts indicate something. So they are called Raishin. So anyway, we will this will come later. So there are, anyway, now you can kind of keep in mind that there are 4 main kind of meanings for the nature. First one means existence or entity, or what was the first one? Or definition. And then second one,
It's empty. Why are we talking?
second one, base disposition, basic disposition, non-fabricated and non-artificial, and not relying on others, anything else like that. So see also now this when Heart Sutra says empty of nature, right? It says empty of nature. Now it can also refer to the number 2, which is like empty of not things that are not rely on other. Everything relies on other. So it is empty of that, not relying on others. So that's number one thing. And then it can also refer to the number 3, which is things are not arisen from by itself, right? Empty of that.
Is it,
Go ahead.
I don't know, just the word is Rangshen.
Rangshin.
Is it like Rangzen?
No.
Like
Close, but not Rangsen, yeah. It's a little bit
similar meaning but different.
a little different.
It's freedom, droit,
Rangshin
it's a totally,
Yeah.
Rangshin, so
Rangshin said that this
knowledge, Madhva.
Rangshin said that the Rangshin is said nature said Rangchen. I think you're talking about Rangchen. Canada Someto Rangzero. Kongsun the Rangchen, Rangchen is. Rangchen and Rangshin very close. But Rangchen is different. And the so Rangchen and Rangchen. What you are saying is Rangchen. Rangchen and Rangshin very close. Very close. But it's quite different than Rangchen, which just means freedom. Right? Yeah. Okay. So we have 4 different meaning for nature. Nature. So when we say empty of nature, means empty of inherently existent, empty of not being relying on others, something like that. So that's I think that's it.
Can you explain number 4 again a little bit?
Of number 4 indicator, I think we will leave it here because unless we go through the 80 thoughts, then this is quite complicated. Maybe we can just leave it here because that's a little complicated.
Okay, so just empty.
Indicator, yeah.
Okay.
You can say indicator. Then next, when we teach Gui Samaja or some other, Vajrayana teaching, then you will understand. Oh, I see. But this is little kind of a very going in a very small road. It's not a well-known kind of a path. So this one. Okay, so that's this is what I wanna say. Seeing the 5 skandhas to be empty of nature. Empty of nature. So nature, right? Yeah, that is it. So now, form is emptiness. Emptiness is also form. Sometimes it's good to also not just utter the words, but also just have little understanding. Then it will make more sense. So let's say form is empty. Form is empty, right? Form is empty. Meaning now when we look at the color or maybe maybe I think it will come later, maybe later, because I have lots of things to say about it, so it will come later. So anyway, so form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. And form is not other than, David was asking about that last time, right? So when we say, when we look at the form, like a vase, when you look at the vase, and when we try to find it, we won't be able to actually pinpoint it. We will, it will dissolve into empty, kind of generally speaking, just empty, right? We can't find it. So that's, form is emptiness, right? Form is emptiness. Let's go there, like just kind of, it's not exactly emptiness, but just getting close. So when we look at the form and then try to find the form, we will never be able to pinpoint it. And the form will dissolve into emptiness. So form is emptiness. And that very emptiness, when we perceive by like a mistaken mind, that very emptiness is form. Right? Let's say you zoom in, like as I gave you the last time, this red color in computer, when you zoom in, right? And then at one point, that red color actually disappears. What is left is that white color. It becomes, red becomes slowly, slowly, and red becomes white. You should try this. Have you tried? Mm-hmm. You should try that. Yeah, it's supposed to be very red. Then you zoom in or make it bigger, right? Make it bigger, and then the redness loses the color. The redness becomes a little bit less red, and then you zoom in, and more it becomes kind of a white. Slowly. At the end, you will see a white color, pure white color. Where is that red now? Only what you see is red, white color. So that very white is the red color in reality. So when you zoom out, that white color will become red. Zoom in, red color will become that light. So form is emptiness, emptiness is form. So emptiness is no other than form. So that white color is not other than the red color in reality. And red color is not other than that white color. So that's something very good. You should try that with the computer.
I was thinking afterwards, after the class 2 weeks ago, about emptiness is not other than form. Form also is not other than emptiness.
Mm-hmm.
The last one, could it also be because form is a construct? We couldn't construct it unless it didn't have inherent nature. And that's why you could say that form is not other than emptiness.
Say it again, yeah.
Because form is a construct.
Uh-huh.
If it was not empty, we could not construct it. It couldn't be created by mind. Because it's only because it is empty of inherent nature that we can. It's like the diamond cutter says, only because it is empty, then we can say. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, right. So, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, similar to that. Yeah, but that one is very simple one, computer thing. Maybe I will tell that more about that later. So right now we will just keep it there, simple, and you should try with the computer. And sometimes we see some kind of like a. I saw one picture, you put together, and then when you look from far away, it's like man's face, right? And then you go closer, it disappears. Sometimes we have that kind of, right? Okay, maybe I'm confusing you. Anyway, okay. So now, and then form is not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, Now feeling. We can say feeling is emptiness. Emptiness is also feeling. Emptiness is not other than feeling. Feeling is not other than emptiness. So you can apply that same kind of rule to feeling, and also perception and formation and consciousness. So here we have something important here. That's, let me see. Yeah, okay. Form, right? Form, feeling. And then what is the next one? Form, feeling, perception, yeah. No. Yeah, perception, yeah, right. And then formation, consciousness. So these are 5 skandhas, right? 5 skandhas, or the 5 aggregates. 5 aggregates. So when 5 aggregates is each of them, Buddha gave an analogy for each of them. For form, Buddha says that in actually teaching to this Sharvaka, Sutra called Teaching to Sharvakas. Sharvaka. Suni uva devadas. Suni uva devadas. Meaning, form is like a form. F-O-A-M, form. Like when you go to near the ocean, is form, right? Like that. Suni uva devadas. So now you have to slowly, you can actually use your own interpretation also. So, but here, Buddha said, Suni uva devada. Form is like a form, right? Suni uva. Tsawa chui chuburshins, chuburdas. The feeling is like a bubble. Feeling is like a bubble. Tsawa chui chuburda. Dushi mikyu tabutes. The perception is like a mirage. Perception is like a mirage. Third one, right? And duje namni chushin shin, formation or the compositional factor. Formation, I think I like the formation. Little maybe easier to understand. Formation is like a banana tree. Banana tree, chushin. We call chushin, banana tree. I'll explain that later. Because I've grown lots of banana, so I have lots of experience.
Put that in your bio.
Duje namni chushin shins. Duje namni chushin shin. Duje, or formations are like banana trees. You have no idea. have you actually seen banana tree? Arunas.
I've seen images of it.
I tease him a lot. When Aruna was driving, I was teasing him. Okay. Duje namni chushin shins. The formations are like banana trees. And number sheva gyumatars. So the consciousness is it's like magic. Consciousness.
Like an illusion?
Like
Sorry?
music?
No, magic.
Magic, yeah, magic. Sorry about that. Magic, yeah.
Hallucination.
So now you got it, right? Form is like a form, right? Feeling is like a bubble. Perception is like a mirage. And then formation is like a banana tree. And number shevas, consciousness is like a magic. Yeah, that's it. So now, go ahead.
You mean magic in the sense of an illusion?
No, I'll explain to you that it has lots of stories. Okay, I like to share that story, beautiful stories.
Banana tree is not even a tree. It's a type of grass.
Maybe you have some idea, yeah.
Yeah,
All this, right? 5 skandha. So when you think about 5 skandha, so now when you say 5 skandhas are the empty, right? Empty. So the 5 skandha. So now you have to kind of look at those examples, like examples. First one, form, and then bubble. Third one, mirage. Fourth one, banana tree. Fifth one, magic. Yeah. At the monastery, we do. I teach like that. Let them speak, talk back to me. Like, okay, what's that? What's that? So
Now it's better.
so like that. Now, these are like when we say form is like a form, meaning that you cannot actually pinpoint. When you try to find, like is a form is like a, you can't actually pinpoint it. It disappears, right? Easily disappears. It just looks like there is something, but when you check, nothing is there, right? Nothing is there. So like form is like that. Form is like that. Tsoas, the feeling is like a bubble. It's just arise and gone, arise and gone. So there's a lot of meaning there, really deep meaning. When you think the pleasure, right? Pleasure arises like that and disappears like that, like a bubble. And also, suffering is like that too. Suffering comes, disappears. So it gives you a little bit, it hits you a little bit and then it makes you happy too. Dharma is like that. When you're too happy, Dharma can really hit you a little bit. And then you're too down, Dharma will say, make you uplift you. So Dharma is really a wonderful tool to keep you balanced. Wonderful. See this one, bubble, your feelings. Let's say I'm so down right now, but then you think bubble. Okay, come up. It'll right now is so solid, but it'll just disappear. This negative thinking, this suffering, and this frustration, and all this painful feeling will go like that, because it's like feelings are like that in nature. So see how uplifting it is. And at the same time, it will give you a little bit, also kind of discourage you a little bit sometimes. When you're having, very good time, too good time, then you say, no, don't fool yourself, right? It will disappear. It will disappear like that. So it keeps you really balanced, keeps you balanced. So that's why it says, feelings are like a bubble. Arises and disappears, arises and disappears. Negative and positive feeling, right? So it's very important. See, when we say, feeling, blah, 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 then we have no taste. When you read this, we have no taste. There is nothing. It doesn't give you any taste. So now when you go deeper, when you say form is emptiness, so think about form. Form is looks like a solid, but when you check, you can't actually pinpoint, you can't actually touch, you can't actually find, like a form, right? Feeling arises, disappears, right? And so, dushe, perception, it's like what was the? Mirage, yeah. Mirage is like mirage arises just because what do you call, wrong perception. Kind of exaggeration, right? It's created by a mistaken mind, right? When we look at a mirage, then we will have a mistaken. Some like in a, like a very hot like places, like the animals in the sand, big desert. You can actually see real like water. Mirage is like water. I experienced that really. I thought real there was a water in California. One time I was driving. It was so hot. I thought really water there. Ocean is there. Because of that, it looks really like water. So sometimes you can have this illusion when you're in desert. You can see like a real water. So then the animals who are looking for water, they are mistaken. They have this illusion of water, and then they run after that, and of course they become more thirsty, and then they die. So the mirage is like created by mistaken understanding or the kind of perception, mind. So like mirage, right? Do you see? So the perception is, our perception is not very good perception right now. It's mistaken, it's contaminated because of the ignorance and all the other afflicted emotions. It's not very, correct.
Reliable.
Not reliable, good. Not reliable. It can give you wrong understanding. It can give you wrong perception. Right, like mirage, it can give you the illusion of water, and then you run after that, and then you die. So we rely on our perception, and then we get into big trouble, right? Sometimes we have this, this man is not really good, We judge, just by their look, we judge. And it ends up that person is a really wonderful person. We judge because of our perception. We think, maybe this person, maybe she's like that and this and that. Just perception gives you wrong information. It feeds you wrong information. Then we think, maybe. Then we rely on that perception, right? So, which is why it's called number sheva. Our consciousness is mistaken, so we can't rely on it. It will give you illusion, like a mirage gives you illusion, right? Same thing. So don't totally rely on our perception. That's what it's saying. Number sheva. What is that? A mirage, right?
I've been waiting for
No, banana tree, yeah. So what formation? See, this is the. Even I could not understand this for a long time. So we say duje. This is, so I just put that, I had this in my dictionary just recently. Because, it turned out it has two meanings. Duje. When you look, see, we always, people who know quite well the grammar, Tibetan grammar, they can also sometimes can be quite, mistaken too, because your grammar is so good. So then you follow that rule. So duje means to make, to create. In reality, duje means to create. So karma is creator, right? So karma is called duje in Tibetan, karma. So it creates, but also means created. That is missing, see? Karma is formed or created. Or no, duche, compositional factor. They have translated as a compositional factor or formation. See, in Tibet, it's called duche, means creator or created. So created is very important. See here, created. When you don't understand the created or formed, when you don't understand that one correctly, then we will never have a good understanding of duche, the fourth skanda. say, yeah.
Is it created because it comes from a contaminated mind or a contaminated?
No, it's just created by something else, right? Like, I will give you some example. Like, it's not called, like, let's say,